Hi, how's it going? This is going to be a high-level overview of the Psychlift conversion optimization process. If you are unfamiliar with us, we do end-to-end website A/B testing with a rapid methodology, and primarily we work with growth teams and product marketing teams who wish to either kick off A/B testing from scratch or integrate us on top of their team to scale their existing program. So really the problem we've seen is that a lot of growth teams or product teams end up not having any resources to A/B test as the company grows. And this leaves huge gaps and opportunities. I've personally been in the situation myself where our homepage was left without a live test for months. And what you're really left with is either hiring somebody in-house, which is a slow trial and error process, or hiring an agency, which have expensive retainers, minimum commitments, etc. So we just ended up not testing at all. And I really wish there was a service like a dedicated A/B testing team which can jump in and optimize continuously that area we need. Quickly jump through the four-step process to integrate our program and start scaling your conversions and testing velocity. The first week, we're going to start with a kickoff document to collect all the information we need and to gauge your knowledge of A/B testing. Also, we're going to get access to your analytics tools so we can set up any other tools and also set up tracking for the A/B testing. We would require one heat map tool. We really love working right now with heatmap.com, which gives you revenue intelligence heat maps and really every single interaction and how much is that contributing to conversions. We're also going to implement an AI survey tool called Zigpol, which can not only launch all the surveys we need, but also do a AI topic analysis on top of them to really save you lots of hours. The next thing is implementing your A/B testing tool. We work with a variety of tools and we're well versed with all of them. The main thing we want is for it to have JavaScript injections. Quick side note, by the way, we do request that you pay for these extra tools, but we're constantly looking for the optimal quality to price and making it affordable. But for now, we're really experimenting with Broadbook, which might be the most affordable tool on the market for large traffic. But we also work with platform-specific tools such as IntelliGems for Shopify and Optibase. Also, around the first week, we have to launch our surveys. We launched two surveys. One is the exit one, where we're going to understand all of the objections and kind of friction on the website, try to create tests around that. Then also we're going to launch a post-purchase survey, which has about 5 questions and will actually be the core fuel behind our messaging strategy and value proposition design, which I'll touch upon later on. The next thing we have is we're going to begin our CRO audit. Our model is divided into 2 stages, quantitative and qualitative. We're going to go deep into Google Analytics, create custom reports, and understand the intent of users and their flow through your website. We're going to check out revenue heat maps, if possible, and understand exactly which interactions, clicks, elements are driving conversions and what's basically distracting users. We're also going to watch a few hundred sessions from engaged people who converted and engaged people who did not convert to understand kind of patterns there are in terms of using the website, things we cannot see with the heat maps. And then we jump into qualitative set of analysis, which starts off with a heuristic best practices checklist where we're going to score your website and look for some low-hanging fruits. We're also going to do the same thing for your top 3 competitors and help you benchmark your conversion rate optimization to them. And so we're going to analyze all of the survey information and turn that into a value proposition canvas, which really is the main thing we use for copywriting and crafting content later on. Now, all of the insights we gather on are going to become the fuel of our testing hypothesis. We also use a few other things, our own CRO model around neuromarketing, which is 80 plus different neuromarketing levers or triggers. We have really this rapid, never-ending queue of possible ideas. And we also use our own content frameworks, product of rigorously studying hundreds of successful pages and trying to extrapolate frameworks from them. The next thing is the next step of the CRO audit, which is going to be the bandwidth calculation. We take a look at our top website pages or collection of pages, influence on conversions, and that helps us understand what are the quickest places where we can detect an uplift and is going to result in a maximum amount of revenue for you. Another step I want to focus on is the heuristic and competitor analysis. This is a powerful 80-point checklist of conversion rate optimization best practices where we're going to score you on each point, score you against your competitors, and produce already tons and tons of new testing ideas and hypotheses from here. Another thing I want to focus on is the survey analysis part, where we use the AI tool I mentioned earlier. This really helps us quickly identify the core themes and then even chat with the AI about the sub themes. So it really helps us move the messaging process and messaging development forward really fast. The next thing I want to spend a little bit more time on is how we craft messaging and value propositions. The instrument we use here is the 10 messaging elements, and these are buckets of market messaging, product messaging, and trust boosters, which we use to craft value propositions. We're going to analyze and encode the themes from each of our answers. We're going to provide you with some direct quotes in the CRO audit, so you can also read that. But we compile everything we found into a big messaging map, which we use to start uncovering the value proposition anchors, which are exciting themes that people talk about, and we usually find them in these 5 buckets. Then we go and craft your entire value proposition, which as you can see here, this first row would be your core value proposition, where we have aligned everything around anchor. In this example, it's a capability, and we can have multiple supporting value propositions, 2 or 3, the 3-4 things that people are going to remember about your product. And we can create multiple value proposition canvases and then go out, build pages and content behind them, and A/B test them as ideas. Of course, every value prop ultimately has micro props or the supporting bullet points in each value prop. We use these cards in this system to do copywriting, and whenever we have an amazing quote, direct quote, or modified, we use it within the page itself. Here I can give you a really quick example of what is really an anchor. It's, for example, when Loom started, they were anchored around their capability of recording a video and your face together. People were really excited about that. In 2019, they pivoted and anchored around video messaging for work. So they went after the business market, and that became kind of their reference point. And then since 2020 until now, kind of their core value prop is anchored around competitive positioning or around the real enemy, which is meetings. So right now you've seen their messaging is like replace meetings with video. The next thing, which is also, we do emotional targeting experiments. So we are going to actually analyze which are the 4 or 5 top emotions we want to trigger so that people really recall your brand and are really impacted by your brand. We find such tests win very often. Finally, we're going to finalize this audit in 70-80 slides, which are packed with insights. This becomes the go-to tool for the CRO specialist to start designing your test. And of course, if you don't have enough time to read this audit, there will be a couple of slides that really summarize everything we found in a few themes and buckets of opportunities for our testing. The next thing is really when we have like 50 or more ideas from at this point, we need to prioritize them. We use a variation of the IC scoring. Now we're going to start moving some of the tests within your CRO sprint board, which we're going to work together in a Kanban way to move tests forward. In the backlog, we're going to pick tests you want to work on. Then they're going to move through the stages. The second thing you're going to do is really the design approval, where we're going to be presenting you with a Figma design with a control and variant. You'll very clearly see where the new sections have been added, and this is also the step where we can finalize any designs or copy as we need. Finally, we're going to start running tests, and there's many rules here. I cannot go into details how we run them. Usually a winner test would be run for minimum 7 days with 90% confidence. There's a side note I want to make that VWO actually offers these AI bandit tests, which are incredible for particular types of tests. This is, if you don't know what it is, it's an algorithmic test where you can do multiple variations, and the algorithm is going to push small quantities to your variations, small amounts of traffic, and gauge if there's potential for winning, and finally just let the good variations battle it out against your control, which is great for when you have small traffic, so you want to minimize revenue or conversion loss, and you're testing like campaigns or in short time frames, and or maybe micro changes such as like 5 different versions of your CTA button. Unfortunately, only VWO provides this feature for now, but we're also versed in running these kinds of tests. Finally, we're going to deploy the test if it's a winner to 100%, and we're going to work with your team, provide you with the live preview link of the test and the Figma design so your developer can implement it, on your website. The reporting is really simple. We're going to share test scorecards, which give you everything that we tested, the control, the variation, the estimated uplift, the business case, and secondary metrics, and also the learnings from this test, which you can easily share with your marketing team or support team or whoever is interested in our A/B testing system. And bi-weekly meetings are going to be something that runs pretty much like a growth meeting. We're going to go over past tests, current tests, and future tests, discuss learnings, and discuss what we're going to do going forward. Now, I promise, last slide, the whole A/B testing program in a nutshell is we're going to have the intro call to explore in 30 to 60 minutes your problems, what results are you looking for, how we're going to measure those results and fit our process. And then we can jump into onboarding, which lasts a couple of weeks to get the access, run surveys, collect data from heat map tools, and also create your first test ideas, which you can approve. And then the testing, week 3, 4, this is where we're actually going to start launching the tests. If you're still unsure, you'll be working with a dedicated CRO specialist, so one point of contact. They are working on their turn with a senior UX designer and full stack developer to develop your tests. And we also do entire landing pages, which are charged as multiple tests. And we prefer working with a single point of contact from your organization, maybe a growth marketer or a product manager. And yeah, we require payment for the first test upfront. Right now, our prices are set at $500 per test. Right now, we're also running a discount of your first test. You can grab it at $250. So very happy. Thank you for staying so long if you're still here, and talk to you soon.